So what's going on, everyone? It's your favourite internet disappointment, Optical, and today I will be giving my early thoughts on Metal Gear Solid The Master Collection Volume 1, and specifically my playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 1 to 3. So, let's talk about the positives. For one, I actually really like the fact that it feels familiar. From immediately when I picked up the controller, I felt as if I'd played this game before. I think the tutorials don't feel invasive, and the NPCs feel fairly innovative in terms of the enemy soldiers, considering that it was still truly the early days of 3D video games and, being limited to the hardware of the consoles back then. Secondly, it does feel good to see an old franchise come back strong with this collection, albeit some minor graphical and mechanical issues, but we'll get onto that shortly. Thirdly, I respect that Konami didn't erase Kojima's name from the opening or ending credits. Kojima played a huge part in the game's legacy, and it did deserve a form of acknowledgement to that. And fourth, it just feels nice to play classic games on new generation consoles. Now, with all the positives comes a few negatives, and let's get into that right now. My main gripe is that the game itself feels as if it has an increased input delay when it comes to the controller. It does feel rather unresponsive in situations such as pulling out your weapon to aim at the enemy soldiers, and because it takes that amount of time, it kind of has some frustrating results. The next issue is that I do wish the game wasn't 30 FPS locked across consoles and the PC. It's an old generation game, and it would feel highly capable of going above 30 on PCs and newer gen consoles. The next one is that a lot of cutscenes feel rather choppy in comparison to the original port. Konami has acknowledged this in their recent Metal Gear Update videos and have announced a fix is on the way in a future update. Now let's go into a general discussion about the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. I think it's really nice that Konami also put in the original Metal Gear games, because it just felt like it was the right thing to do to link it up to Metal Gear Solid 1 to 3, and then the little mini DLCs that they had. Obviously, these are games that have all the tank controls, so it does feel a bit weird at some moments, but having been someone who plays a lot of tank control games, it was easy for me to kind of get into flow of things, but I do understand why to some people that's going to be a bit weird for them. The next thing that I want to say is that for porting the first few games, it does feel relatively decent. It doesn't feel like it's something that has been lazily thrown together, but I just do wish there was a little bit more emphasis on utilizing the PC and consoles aspects to push the FPS cap up to 60. I also do believe that doing the Master Collection was a good way to set up exciting fans for the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake so that's the Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, and it felt right to do the Master Collection to kind of set that up. And I am excited for the Delta Snake Eater to release, because that's actually going to be exciting to see how they adapt the original style of the games into newer generation consoles and PC. So I want to give a major thank you to Konami and Keymailer for providing me this code to make some reviews on and just give my overall thoughts on the experience. This could be the first part of my reviews coming over the next few days, just to see if my experience changes or if my thoughts change. But so far, I am having a very, very, very positive experience with the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, and I'm excited to talk about it more as I play through. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.